Hello everyone, this is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review, and today we have an uncommon by cadstar369. Let's see what we got going on here. We got Starlight Shaman, who is a dragon shaman for white-green. I don't see a lot of those. Alright, so this is a 2/2, it's an uncommon. So middling stats, but let's see what else we got. We got lifelink, that's a nice little bonus. And you can pay 2 hybrid white-green. Reveal the top card of your library. If it has 2 or more card types, put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your library. Artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, land, planeswalker, sorcery, and tribal or card types. Okay, pretty cool. I like the idea here. Kind of gives you a nice little incentive to put a bunch of different types of creatures. I'm surprised this is not a 2-type creature itself, to be honest. Like, if you're making if you're building a deck, like, okay, so clearly this card is best in a deck with a bunch of multi-type cards, right? So why not make this card also a multi-type card? Like making an enchantment creature, for example. That's a pretty easy one, right? And that works really well for the white-green theme. I think that just makes a lot of sense. Other than that, you're probably going to be putting a lot of like artifact creatures or enchantment creatures in your deck to really make this guy pay off. Most likely enchantment creatures in white-green. You know, I mean, yeah, okay, there's some tribal cards, but like whatever, you know, not too many. What about I'm trying to think of like, are there lands that are other creatures? I mean, I know there's Dryad Arbor. Is that a land creature? Dryad Arbor. Land creature. Yeah, it is. Okay. So I'm trying to think like how many cards there are that sort of fit these categories. I mean, artifact creature is probably the most common, right? But green and white isn't exactly the artifact creature color, you know. So enchantment creature fits this a little bit more. So I guess you would just have some combination of artifact and enchantment creatures, or if you really want to maximize this card. So yeah, I mean, it's a neat card. Really makes you think. Really, I like that it gives you like, it's kind of a nice payoff for like building a kind of a wacky deck. I think that's pretty cool. I think you could probably bump the power on this one a little bit, just because like, I mean, the power level is pretty close, I would say. Like it's not I wouldn't say it's underpowered at where it is right now, but it's like, in order to make this card actually good, it's quite a constraint on you to fill your deck with a bunch of artifact creatures and enchantment creatures, right? Because you're really narrowing down the kind of cards you can put in your deck. And the more like instants of sorceries you put in your deck, the more lands that are in your deck, the more planeswalkers in your deck, the worse this card gets, basically, right? Like as is, if your deck is 100%, if your deck is 100% like two creature type cards, or 2 type cards rather, this has like a 30% chance of missing, something like that, right? I mean, you have about 30% of your deck is, well, let me actually, is that right? Let me just let's do like a 24 out of 60. Oops. Oh, I'm in integer division. 24 out of 60. Okay, so it's more like, okay, so it's more like 40%. So this thing has about a 40% chance of missing. I mean, it's cheap, right? And you can really spam it out. But that's assuming that everything in your deck that's not a land is 2 types, right? So, you know, what I'm trying to say is like, to really reward people for trying to meet this like goal, you could probably give this guy a little something, make him a 2/3, you know, something like that. And again, I really think that this should be an enchantment creature. Like if you're adding this sort of deck constraint, we might as well let this guy just fit that constraint, you know. But that being said, I think it's a pretty cool idea. you know, I think it would be neat if there were, you know, I'd like to see like a set kind of designed around this where it's like, you know, having things with multiple types matters. And there's cards that pay you off for that. You could even have some really kind of wacky cards like I don't know, like what can you combine with like instant sorcery? Like I don't even know, like an artifact instant, where like it's like an artifact that you cast and it does something, then it goes directly to the graveyard. I mean, that doesn't really make any sense. Like what's the artifact doing there? I guess some things care about casting artifact spells. I don't know. I'm just trying to think like what you could do. Instant land. It's like a land you could play at instant speed. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting design space here, I think. So I like that. I almost like that more than the card itself. Like I'd like to see more. I'd like to see you dig into that some more and see what you can come up with. But yeah, overall, I like Starlight Shaman. Again, I think there's a couple. I think really my main issue is this should just have two types, right? It should be an enchantment creature, but that's really my biggest gripe. And I do think you could probably bump up the power a little bit. But other than that, I would say this is a solid 7 out of 10, 7.5, 7. Let's go with an 8. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7, only because it's not an enchantment creature. If this was an enchantment creature, it'd be an 8. Okay. So yeah, I like this card, and thank you guys for watching.